custom object. Now we already know that how custom objects are different. Standard object are built-in objects. So whatever standard object we know, those are built-in object. Come out of the box. Out of the box means what? Along with Salesforce account creation, you get that standard object. So built-in object. If you look at custom object, created by developer, created by us. Us means Salesforce developer, right? So we will create that custom object. Now we know that object contains what? Object contains fields. So custom objects, whenever we say we will create the custom object, we will have fields in that. We will have data type to each field. Data type to each field. We will have records. Records in custom object. Okay. Now some facts about the custom object. What we want to do is that the activity which we want to do is practical activity in Salesforce, create custom object employee, okay, which will contain below fields, which are those fields? EMP ID, let's say EMP name and salary, as simple as that, just like you have done in the database, Then this will be numeric, so this is number. This will be textual, so this is text, and this is also numeric, so it will be number. So that is what I wanted to do, right? Now one thing I wanted to show you whenever I'll create the custom object. Before that, now let me log into my Salesforce account first. This is brand new account I created in front of you on other day. So it does not contain anything. Like on custom object front, it does not contain anything. Now, if you see here, account object and lead object and contact object and opportunity object, every object is associated with a tab. There is a tab associated to each object. So this accounts tab associated with account object. Opportunities tab associated with opportunity object. Same way, whenever we will create the custom object, it has to be associated with, so our employee object has to be associated with employees tab. So it's like plural form, employees tab. So we have to create custom tab employees as well. Okay. So it's not only custom object creation, it's fields creation, it's tab creation. I'll tell you one thing more. Whenever you look at this, so I told you that sales, service, marketing, what these are called as? These are called as apps, right? Sales is app, service is app, marketing is also an app, right? So if you see sales, you can see some tabs visible over here. Then if I say service, tabs are getting changed. Okay. If I say marketing, tabs are getting changed. If I again say sales, then tabs are different, right? So tabs are holded in an app. Remember that, right? So we know that tabs are holded in an app. So same way, to hold our employees tab, we need to create custom app as well. Okay, so some name we have to give to that custom app. We will give some name, we will give like my company as my company. So anything you can give, So my company, we will give just like my V University. So this my is my patent word everywhere I use, We will give my company as our custom app name. So in short, how it will be, we will have my company app, my company custom app, okay, which will hold our employees tab, okay, which is associated with, which is associated with our custom employee object. This is what is the bottom line. Okay, then this employee object contains below custom fields. Okay, now here there is a change, 1 and 2. I'm not taking name. Okay, I'm not taking name. Only 2 custom field we are going to add. What is the reason behind that? What is the reason that I'm not taking employee name as my one of the custom field? Let me show you something. If I go to Salesforce, here, whenever you look at account object, so now how do we check fields? So we will go to setup and then we'll go to customize and we'll go to account, suppose, and I click on fields. So there is a name field in account. So look at account object, there is name field. Now let me go to leads. Let's say I go to leads and I click on fields. So there is name field here as well. You can see this name field. So whenever you have any object, always there is a name field automatically created for you. Okay, name field, which is nothing but the object name. So that will be there in each record, of course. Each record will have different value in the name. So you create employee, name is automatically added as a standard field. You create student, name will be automatically added as the standard field. So you don't have to take that EMP name as one more field, So it's already creating the name as a standard field for you. So what we will do, we will accept that name as the standard field. So this will be standard field created in our custom employee object. That's what. Okay. So what I'm going to do now, these are all Salesforce specific steps. So our purpose is not to understand each and every minor details of each and every configuration in Salesforce. We are Mule developer, not Salesforce developer. But today we are imitating like the Salesforce developer, So what we are going to do, we will put ourselves in the shoes of Salesforce developer and we'll create custom object which contains custom fields, which will be associated with a custom tab, and that tab will be enclosed inside the custom app. So all these we are going to create. Some part, if we do not understand in Salesforce, leave it. Don't worry much about that. Just if you get a feel of that and practice once, that is sufficient for you. Okay, that's what we do on the project. Whenever we integrate with some third-party application, like Mulesoft is integrating with Salesforce. Of course, it is not third-party application. Salesforce is owner of Mulesoft, but still it is the external application. So knowing somewhat details about that application is sufficient for us. So that's what we are going to do. Let us jump into steps. So the activity is, we will actually have my company custom app, employees tab, and the employee object, and with these fields, and after that insert, let's say 5 records in employee object. That's what we are going to do. That's a custom object. That's what we are going to do. Let us get into steps now. So what I need to do now, literally the steps you have to follow and create the custom object. Even if some part you do not understand, like profile is there in Salesforce. So I'm going to tell you one liner about the profile, but in case sometime you don't understand profile, that's okay. There is a page layout. So we are just going to click on next on the page layout option. So leave it. That's related to UI for Salesforce user. So we will not get into Salesforce terminologies really. right? So let us follow the steps and let us create the custom object in Salesforce. Okay, fine. Are you ready? Ready, guys? Okay, so just type ready in the chat box. Ready and alert. Very good. Perfect. Okay, so let's get started. The step will be of course, you log into Salesforce and you're already in Salesforce. You will click on setup menu in upper right corner. Okay, and you follow the path. The path will be like this: follow below path. What is the path? Setup. After that setup, what do you do? Let me show you. So I'll click on setup. I'm clicking on setup, and fine. I'm clicking on setup. Left hand side menu is getting open. Inside build there is create. So expand that create. So the path will be like this: build, then inside build you will have create. Okay, so inside build you will go to create, and inside create you will see objects. You will click on objects. After that, I'm clicking on objects because I want to create the object. So here you can see all the custom object which you have created. Right now there is no custom object because I have not created any. So I will click on new custom object button. Let me just note it down. It will be new custom object button. Okay, perfect. Then what we will do? New custom object button. Let me get into that. Okay, so let me click on this. So it will open this new custom object page for you. You have to fill that page and you will click on save at the end. Okay, so let us see what all is there on that page. Firstly, so I'm just putting the step like fill all the details, fill all below details, and click on save button. Okay, so which are all those details? Let me see that. Label. Now label is the display name. So it can be simply employee. While we can give it's not case sensitive. You can give small, capital, no problem. I give first letter capital here. That doesn't matter. Anyway, that's a label simply. So employee, label. Now observe one thing. The moment I put label, automatically object name is also coming to that. First letter can be capital, no problem. So employee. Anyway, you can use small, capital, no worries at all. So label and object name. So put label as employee. Then object name, employee, will be auto populated once you enter label. Okay, label is a display name and employee is an object name. Now let me show you something. In case if you have space in the label, let's say employee details, that's what I'm doing. So what will happen? It will automatically take. Right now nothing is there. So let me again load this page. Refresh. Okay, so now if I say space, I'm giving employee details and maybe I press tab, you can see it will take the underscore in object name. But I suggest don't use this space or something. So let me refresh the page and let me enter the value again. I'll put it as simply employee and it will populate it. Then the plural label. With this, it will set the tab name. So plural label, again, you may think that why it is not automatically taking, because plural name is not always with S, If you have child as an object name, children as the plural is there, right? So that's what. So you have to give that, So even if it is employees, you need to give that. So plural label, let us give it as employees. Let me put it plural label. You can just watch and understand what I'm doing, and you can follow the recording and create it. Trust me, it will be easy for you to follow and just create it, That's not a big deal. Then starts with vowel sound, I don't care about that, leave it. Description, you can just put some description over here, which is like for your purpose. Afterward, if you want to see that, holds details of employees, it will not be displayed anywhere really, it will be for additional information about the employee object. So that's what will be description. Let me fill the form properly so that it will look good, Fine. Context sensitive help setting, accept default. Okay, so for this, you don't have to do anything. Whatever open standard salesforce.com help, we are happy with that. We are not creating our own pages for help and all. So for this, accept default, first option. Okay, so default, we are okay with that. Then nothing, content name anyway, nothing is there. Record name. Okay, this is that name field I was talking about. So this will be the field name of the name field. This is a label actually. The name of the field will be simply NAME, name. Okay, but the record name, so that's a label basically. Label will be coming as employee name. I will show you that. The label of that standard field, I'll show you here. Whatever this standard field I'm talking about, So label of that field will be employee name, right? So we are happy with that employee name. Let it be. Text, let it be. So record name, employee name, default. Okay, we are not changing that. So record name, let it be employee name. So that is nothing but default value as it is. Okay, then whatever the data type, it is text. We can have one auto number kind of thing is also there, but for employee name, how we will take auto number, So text is again default value we are accepting here. Okay, that is what. Then optional feature. So optional feature, allow reports, allow activities. So whenever Salesforce user will use your object, employee object, so all these feature will be available for your object. User can take the reports of your employee data, or there are some activities which user can do and so on. So there is no harm to select all these. Let it be all available to user, related to your object. So optional feature, let us check all 4 boxes. Okay, so check all 4 check boxes. No harm in that. Okay, that's what. Then object classification, I'm not really changing that. Of course, you can change it, but no need to do that really. We are not concerned with that. We are not getting even that. So all 3 check boxes checked. So default, we are not really doing anything with that. Okay, that's how it is. After that, we do have deployment status. Now, what do you mean by deployment status? Suppose I created this object. So once I save that, it will be immediately available to other users because Salesforce is like multi-users. So whenever you create the custom object and you save that, it will be immediately available for other users. That's what deployed. It will be deployed in the Salesforce cloud. But if you say it is still under development, it will not be available till you make the status as deployed. So in our case, that's fine, absolutely fine. We do have deployed, rather we want deployed. So deployment status, let it be deployed, which is default value. Okay, so deploy it, which is nothing but default value. Okay, then search status. So search status, this allow search checkbox is unchecked, check whatever you want to do. User, whenever they will put your object name like emp, that's what he give in the search text box of Salesforce, whether your object should be searchable or not. Okay, or it should be hidden from the search. I don't see any need of making it hidden, so I'll say allow search box check. Okay, so I'll make it check, no problem. Most of the configuration we are using, we are not even see the effect later on. We are not practicing more in Salesforce, So let it be allow search checkbox check. Okay, let us make it checked. That's perfect. Then object creation option. This is very important option, listen carefully. There are two checkboxes. First checkbox is just a casual. You can keep it check or uncheck, doesn't matter. So what it says that add notes and attachment related list to default page layout. I told you that something related to page layout will come there. So this is something, it will add notes and some documentation to your page layout, and no harm to do that. Let us check that. Next option is very important. Launch new custom tab wizard after saving this custom object. So right now, whenever you save, immediately you get into tab creation, which I definitely want. Right now, I want to create the tab also. I don't want to postpone it to later on. Okay, so I want to go for this box. This box is very important. Right now, I want to check the boxes. So let me take this option and both check boxes we will check. Okay, literally follow that. Both check boxes need to be checked. Okay, last checkbox. What is the meaning? Last checkbox meaning. So checked means we want to create tab for this object right away. And if it is unchecked, what does it mean? We will do it later on. We will create tab later on. That's what. Now we very well want, right now I will create. So I'll click on save button. So that's what, click on save button. I clicked, and that's what, this is step number 4 I'll get into. Save. Okay, so now I got into step number 1. So right now, whatever step I had, that was related to custom object creation. Now this is about tab creation. Okay, so step 1. Of course, whenever we will move on, you will see that step 1, step 2, step 3. So let me get into like on step 1. So on this one. So that's what. So you will understand that what I need to configure. Nothing, just tab style. You configure it to some beautiful theme. And this will be like, uh, just hold on. Yeah. Here we are coming to on step 1, enter the details. And we are coming to this particular page. Here I need to just select the theme, the color combination and icons for your tab and all. I will show you how it look like rather. So here I prefer to go for bell actually. I like that the icons are also like bell and all. And the color combination is also good. So I go for bell. You can take anything, apple, aeroplane, blank, whatever. Okay, that is just a style of the tab. That's perfect. Nothing to configure here, just tab style, take it bell. So tab style, select some theme. So for example, bell. Okay, which will decide appearance of your tab. Okay, you will see that how appearance of bell theme will be shown, that's what. So just click on next button. Click on next button. That's fine. And I click on this next button. I hope you can see that. So I come to step number 2 now. Okay, I'm on step number 2. So on step 2, this page, on step 2, what you will do? Okay, so here what you have is it's a add to profile thing. So profile, I told you that profile will be coming in the picture. So you can treat profiles means user, users, different users. So there is a contract manager user, there are authenticated website user, there is a sales profile user, there is a analytics cloud integration user. There are many users who will be using your Salesforce account. Salesforce instance, I will say. Account will be user wise. Every user will have different account, but they will use same data, same configuration, same Salesforce instance, multiple user. So whatever this tab you are creating, you wanted to make this tab visible to all the profiles, or for some user you want to hide it, for some user you wanted to show it. That's what is the configuration over here. Now I don't mind making it on for everybody, so I'm not going to change that. I'm just have to click on next. So no change. Let your tab visible to all profiles that are nothing but users. Okay, just click on next button. Okay, step number 6 now. So click on next. I'm going very slow. So next step is add to custom apps. What is that? So you are on this. So add to custom apps means what? This particular tab you wanted to add it to which app? Now, frankly, I do not want to add it to any ready-made app or any existing app. Rather, I'm going to create my own app, which is called as my company. And in that app, I will add my tab. So frankly, I do not want to go for any app over here. So I will just say uncheck at the top. So it is unchecked. Everything is unchecked, It is not included in any of the app. So what it is asking, if I click on this include tab, it means your tab will be visible to all the apps. Doesn't matter you take sales app, doesn't matter you take service app, doesn't matter you take marketing app, doesn't matter you take any damn app. Your tab will be always there, employees. Isn't it weird? I don't want that. I will create my app and then I will add my tab into that. So uncheck this include tab. Okay. So we do not want to add our tab in any of the existing app. Okay. Rather, we are going to create our own app, that is my company, to hold employees tab. Okay, so just uncheck. Now what is that configuration? Include tab. Just uncheck include tab checkbox. Okay, and click on next button. Click on next button. 7 number step. Let's move on to next now. So click on next. Here is a save. Actually there is no next button here. You can see that there is a save button. No problem, I'll click on save button. Save button. Fine, let me click on save button. Okay, So you can see that my custom object got saved now. My custom object got saved. Okay, so that's all. Custom object got created. Now in this custom object, you can see that if I want to see again, suppose I click somewhere else and I missed out that custom object page. So how to bring it back? You follow the same path. Setup, setup, then create, then object, same path. And here you can see employee object got created. If you click on that, you will come to the same custom object page. Now, if I look at here, what you can see? Standard fields section and custom fields section. So in standard field, you can see this name field is already there. You remember, it was asking me record name, you know, if you remember, record name, this one. Whatever we have given this record name, which has the data type text. So it is appearing over here. Standard field. It is standard fields. Remember that. Okay. Now, what we are going to do, let us add EMP ID and salary as the custom fields. So next one will be, so this is part one now. So what is part one? Let me see that. Part one is create custom object employee along with tab. That's what we have completed just now. This is part one. Let's get into part two now. Part two is add custom fields, or rather we will say add below custom fields to employee object. I'm using it case, it's not case sensitive, I told you that. Still E capital. Okay. So which are those? The fields already I jotted down here. Let me copy that. Yes, this two. Okay. So this two. That's what I'm going to add. So what do you do? Step one. So on employee page, now how will you open employee page? Open employee page. How will you do that? Like setup, build, create objects, and click on employee object. That's what. Okay. Then you go to custom field section and just click on new. Okay. So click on new button in custom fields section. That's what. Okay. Let me click on that. New. Okay. So you can see that now the task started, new custom field you are going to do. So you are on step number one now. Choose the data type, choose the field type. Okay, so on, you have to choose the field type, you know. So what is the data type? Now Salesforce is the application where you have to select the data type first, and then you can give the name of the field, you know. So firstly, I want to create EMP ID, which is number. So I'll select number. Don't worry about other data types and all. It's like huge set of data types. So I'll create number now. Number, I selected number and click on next. Let me put it, select number as data type and click on next button. Okay, that's what. Let's come to step number 4. So we are on this step now. Enter the details. So we are on enter detail. So what we are going to do, we will be filling the details over here and click on next. All right. So let me put fill in below details. and click on next button. Now what are those details? Now this red color stuff you need to add compulsorily. Red means mandatory, right? So field label, EMP ID. Let us give without any space, without anything, EMP ID simply. You can see field name automatically populated. Let it be the length of 18. So if EMP ID will be 18 digits, that's okay. If you feel that no, it will not be more than 5 digits. So let's put 5. This is maximum number of digits which are there in the employee ID. Maximum 1 to 5. So field label, we put EMP ID, length, we put 5. Okay. I hope whatever I'm explaining you that you will remember. I'm not putting that in the notes really. This is anyway auto populated. So that's what is there. This is auto populated. Otherwise you will go and enter that, you are not supposed to do that. Then description, help text, I'm just ignoring that. Okay. Required and unique. External ID will be required for integration, ignore it. Default value, ignore it. Required and unique. So your employee ID, do you want that every record must have employee ID, or there will be some employees without employee ID? Not at all. Every employee must have employee ID. So I will make it required. Is that all employees will have unique employee ID? There will not be duplicate employee IDs. Like suppose myself is employee, Solomon is employee, Mengi is employee, and all three have the same employee ID. Not at all. I want to make it unique. So required and unique, just check that boxes. So check required and unique. Okay, so that's what we will do. Check boxes. Other thing, no need to worry about. Just click on next button. Next button. So this is what the next step. So just say step number 5, and we put on this step. What do you have to do? Establish field level security. Now field level security is really quite deep concept. So what we are going to do, this particular field, and you can see these are like again profiles, these are all profile. So your field is visible to all the users. That's what it has selected by default, because you made it required. As you made it required, it is automatically visible to all the users. Frankly, you're not supposed to do anything on this step. Okay, so what do you do? Just click on next. So that is what, just click on next. Step number 6, next button, of course. And you're on this. I told you that somewhere you will come to page layout step. On page layout step, nothing doing, you don't have to do anything. Just click on either save or save and new. Save and new is what? You just created EMP ID. Still you have to create salary, right? So you just say save and new, it will save your EMP ID field and it will start creating salary field also. That's what I want, right? So here we'll click on save and new and follow above steps for salary field. That's what. Okay, look at here. Save and new. And here I will give the data type number. So for salary also I'll give the data type as a number. That's great. I click on next. Same steps I'm going to follow. Field label, I'll put like salary, all small. Length, maybe 8 digits maximum. Field name, salary, perfect. Will I make required or unique? So just say, of course not. Don't make it required or unique. So both should be unchecked. So what do you mean by not required? Some employee is newly recruited, salary is not yet fixed or whatever. So let us see that salary also can be null. So we don't require salary to be feed all the time. It can be empty. Unique, forget it. Two employees can have same salary. For example, Sam is the employee, Mengi is the employee. We both have $10,000 salary. That's perfectly fine. So you cannot make it unique. So keep both checkboxes unchecked. Remember that. Okay, while you create that. So keep it unchecked. Nothing doing, just click on next button. On this, now here is a change. You have not made it required. So this visible is unchecked by default. Okay, so if you want to make it visible to all the profile, this field has to be made visible to all the profile, then you check all of this. You check all of this. So just click on visible checkbox. So on step number 3, on step 3, don't forget to check visible checkbox. Okay, so what we are doing, this field is visible to all profiles. That's what we wanted to do. We don't want that this user will able to see that, this user will not able to see that. So that's what we will do. And let me click on next. And this is like save. So finally I have done. So save. So both employee ID and this one got created, these two. Okay, so this is part 2 where you created these 2 custom fields. Let me take one question. Is the length value 5 is must, no less or no more? You observe that. For employee ID, I put 5 because maximum 5 digits can be there. But salary, I put, let's say 8 because 8-digit salary is there. You can put 10. So as per your requirement, you can put it. Maximum range wise, you can put it up to 18 because that is quite big number. So up to 18 is fine. Okay, perfect. Now the part 3. Let's come to part 3 now. We created custom object, tab and fields. Now app. That is what is the part 3. Okay, what is the part 3? Create custom app, my company, and add employees tab into that. Remember that. Okay, so employees tab we want to add into that custom app. Let's get started. So what is the step for that? So follow below path. Simple. Same like object. Setup, build, create. Now after that you don't go to objects, you go to apps. Okay, so let me show you that. You will go to setup and you will go to build, you will go to create, and inside that create, first option is apps. Don't go to objects. For objects we went to object, right now we'll go to apps. Okay, so once we go there, just click on new button. So let me add it here itself, this app, like this. So just new button, as simple as that. Okay, so this select type, custom app. So we are good with that. So second one, on select type, custom app. So select custom app option, which is by default option. So select custom app option, which is default value. That's what. Okay, then let me click on next button. Even I'm putting that step everywhere, guys, so uh, it will be quite convenient for you to follow. And you will require that. If you stuck up somewhere, then it will take a lot of time for you to come out of that. So even if it's a little bit more typing for me, that's fine. Okay, next, app label. So on step number 2, what I want to do is that just enter the details. What details? App label, app name, description. So nothing, app label I will add my company. Okay, I will add my company. Then app name, automatically it will be coming as my company. Okay, my company. It should be auto populated. Let's see that it gets auto populated or not. We'll see that. Description, we'll leave it empty this time, no problem. My company. My company, it's coming because so many times I use this Salesforce, and so many times, even if account got changed, browser is same, so autocorrect is there. So my company, that's fine. Click on next button. Click on next button. And we'll go to next. Okay, so here, like, you have to select the logo for your app. Now see, we will not select any logo as such. So it is like, keep the default logo as it is. Okay, and just click on next button. Nothing, click on next button. If you want, you can insert an image. This is what is the tab you need to add. Home tab is already there in the selected tabs. So in my company app, home tab is already there. So on step number 4, choose the tabs. Okay, so what we will do, we will just select employees. It will be at the end. It is not alphabetical list, available tabs, and take it to home and employee selected tabs. Okay, so choose employees tab from available tab to selected tabs. Okay, that's what. Click on next. Next. Okay, so again, now assign profile. So this particular app should be visible to which all profile. Okay, so here what I will do, I'm going to make it available to everybody. So no need to make any provision to hide from some user, display to some user, no. So just make sure that you click on this visible box. So it will make it visible for everybody. Okay, so that's what. Check visible checkbox. Okay, so what does it mean? It is visible. My company app will be visible to all profiles. So profiles means users, we know that. Okay, so that's what. 7th step. Click on next. There is a next button. Let us see that. Yeah, there is a save button finally. So just click on save button. Final, done, save. You can see my app is created. My app is created now. It's creating that. Yes, my app is created. You can see my company app is here. Now I want to enter records. That is what my next part number 4. Enter records in employee object. Okay, that's what I will do. So how will I do that? Select my company app from apps menu. So you used to select sales from the upper right corner, So you will actually select my company app over there. How is it? I'll go here. I'll select my company app. Where it is? Here it is. And you can see home and employees. Then you click on employees tab. Okay, these are all steps which I'm recording here. Let me save this file. So this is, click on employees tab. See, we will see that Mulesoft part later on. How to fetch the data from this employees tab, we will come to that. Right now we just created that. So click on employees tab and you will see the typical interface to enter the record. Now can you see here the icon is bell and color is same which you have seen in the bell theme. You can try out some other themes, that will be amazing. Click on go. Click on go and you will see no records, So I'll say new employee now. Click on new employee. Click on new employee button and insert records. Insert records one by one. That's what. So that's simple one. Now I click on new employee and employee name is compulsory. Employee ID is compulsory. Don't bother about the sequence. Okay. Employee name, I put, let's say Solomon. Employee ID 1001, salary 10K. You can see salary is not compulsory. Save. Now I saved that, actually one record saved, but I want to again go to here and I again click on go and yeah, new is there already, new employee. Yes. Employee name, Mengi. Employee ID 1002. You can put any value. Salary, you can leave it. I'll click on save and new. So next record it will accept now. So Tamrat, employee ID is 1003. Not necessary you give it in sequence. You can give anything, 17K. So 3 records already done. Let's say Bhargav 1004, salary, save and new. One more. So let's put Marriott, employee ID 1005, salary. You cannot put a duplicate, if you put 1004. So let's see what it says. Save. It says no, duplicate value not allowed. So I make 5 and then save. Then it got saved. So we said unique and required, So now all employee records, I can go to employee tab and I can see all records. So I want to customize the view, which was one of the assignment for you for standard object. Here also I can customize the view. That is my next step. Customize view to see all fields, to see all fields or columns. So here I can see only name, I want to see employee ID and salary also. So I just edit that. And here step number 3, employee ID, take it, salary, take it, employee ID I want first, then employee name, then salary. So I say save. So now you can see that I can see my 5 records appearing over here. Okay. So that's how you can create custom object. You can add custom fields. You can create tab. You can create app. You can add that tab into that app. And then you finally insert 5 records in that. Okay. So that's how is the complete cycle of custom object creation in Salesforce. Okay. Understood?